let's make this the last testimony and wrap up this absurd case once and for all. In my eyes, all you proved is that the rotating fireplace wall was used. But you can't really call that proof that the Yatagarasu used the fireplace, now can you? So then who was it that used the rotating wall? Show me your answer with real evidence. Remember, we've already finished our very thorough investigation, and we found not a single suspicious thing in Mr. Cochin's office.
Nothing suspicious at all, huh?
There you have it, my counter-argument.
That's very impressive. She's seen through to the fact that I have yet to gather that one piece of evidence. What is it, Kay? I haven't had a peep out of you in quite a while now.
If you don't think you can handle it, feel free to leave the rest of it to us. But
Kay, pull yourself together. You are the true heir to the Yatagarasu name, are you not? If you want to steal the truth, then you must never take your eyes off of it. This chase you're running to catch the truth, you must see it through to the very end. Mr. Edgeworth, you're right. I will see this through to the end. So you will get it from me. Mr. Edgeworth! With pleasure.
Looks like a lack of evidence has left you wide open, doesn't it?
Sheena, please, show me you're someone I can trust.
Don't worry, this will be the deciding match. You'll see.
I'm truly sorry, Agent Lang, but I simply can't allow her to escape me again. Very well then, Agent Sheena. Shall we begin?
I'm ready whenever you are.
Rebuttal! A rebuttal battle!
In my eyes, all you proved is that the rotating fireplace wall was used.
Hold it!
It sounds to me like you're saying my explanation is not good enough. But I was able to go through the revolving door myself. So that should be proof enough even for you, pal.
Looks like you don't quite understand. But by your looks, I can guess that you're not all that learned.
Ouch! Talking about rude! You should watch what you say, pal. Sadly, I can't say I disagree with her on that one.
But you know what I mean, right? You may have proven that the fireplace was used. But you can't really call that proof that the Yatagarasu used the fireplace, now can you?
Hold it!
Yes? So you would prove that the Yatagarasu was the one who used the fireplace.
That's right. Well, do you have any?
Can you prove that it was the Yatagarasu who used the fireplace?
I don't need to prove anything to you.
Oh! Objection?
Hold it!
Okay, if you could please not steal my line. Sorry, but I just couldn't hold it in anymore. Well, don't fret and leave her to me. All you have to do is sit back and watch.
Aha! You may seem to have some wiggle room, but without any evidence, it's meaningless. So then, who was it that used the rotating wall? Show me your answer with real evidence.
Hold it!
It's possible the Yatagarasu left fingerprints inside the fireplace.
Sorry, but I had the forensics team check that already. All they found were prints belonging to Ambassador Polano and Mr. Cochin.
Curses! I should have known better than to think the Yatagarasu would have been so careless. But there must be some sort of evidence that we still have yet to find.
Aha! I take it you have no further objections. Remember, we've already finished our very thorough investigation.
Hold it!
So Interpol has finished examining the entire Barbary embassy.
Yes, the investigators who weren't allowed into Alabas were incredibly helpful. They all put in great efforts to search for any signs of the Yatagarasu.
And yet, despite all of that effort, it appears that they failed to notice the lack of ash in the office fireplace. Furthermore, you were the one who inspected the room next to Mr. Cochin's, correct?
I didn't notice the ash there in the fireplace of that room, and for that, I am sorry.
You don't need to apologize, Sheena. As your boss, your mistakes are my mistakes. You allow me to apologize for you. I am sorry.
You know, maybe this guy's not such a bad guy after all.
I apologize for subordinates and everything. What a great boss. I bet he doesn't cut the paychecks when mistakes are made, right?
Are you saying that I don't do anything for my own subordinates?
Ah! No, not for that sort, sir. No, you do lots for me. And thank you for not cutting my check recently. You're someone I really respect, sir. Even if you are a bit too strict sometimes.
That is only a problem on your end.
Wow, way to be super hard on him in response.
Am I really too strict on everyone? No, it's the children who are wrong, not me. Anyway, Sheena, you didn't find anything in Mr. Kochin's office, right?
That's right, we finished our investigation. And we found not a single suspicious thing in Mr. Kochin's office.
Nothing suspicious? But probably you should have found something suspicious, like a safe full of documents.
So you didn't find anything?
Yes, as I said, not one suspicious thing. Although, as you already know, we did find the Yatagarasu's key and the document detailing the smuggling operation.
Okay, so they found the documents.
But we still haven't found the blade that belongs to the Bubbly's knife handle yet.
Ha, you see? My subordinates worked hard to investigate everything. So there was nothing else to find, alright?
Wow, Agent Langs really sticks up for his people.
Lang Z says, all men are brothers and friends become family. So you see, my people are my family, and their families are my family too.
That's a large family you have there.
Yes, but as we all know, there is always one black sheep in any family. And though it pains me, Agent Lang, you will know the black sheep in your family.
So, do you actually have any proof that the Yatagarasu used the fireplace passageway?
No, I haven't found any yet.
So what are we gonna do?
There's no need to worry, because there's a loophole in this Interpol agent's argument that we can exploit first. The one in charge of Baba's investigation was not Agent Lang, which means that with Agent Sheena in charge, it's possible she may have tampered with the evidence. That piece of evidence that we found, if there is one thing I do know, it's that someone tried to hide it from us.
Okay, so I'm guessing it's we didn't find anything suspicious. So let's look through the evidence and see what we found that was suspicious that she probably should have found. The Damask note was in the other office. Not the guitar pick. The wire's kind of suspicious. That was in the clock, right? Maybe they just didn't look in the clock?
Objection!
While you say that you and your agents have finished your thorough investigation, are you absolutely certain that you didn't overlook anything?
Well, are we just full of ourselves standing there insulting Interpol agents?
You'd better not be insinuating that my men are incompetent, Mr. Prosecutor. I'd never do that. However, it doesn't change the fact that they did overlook something. I'd like for you to take a look at this length of wire.
What exactly is this supposed to mean?
A length of wire? So what about it? I'll tell you what, we found this in the Barbalese embassy not long ago. What? And we found it wound up inside the grandfather clock in Mr. Kochin's office.
You found that? At the scene of Mr. Kochin's murder?
But this wire wasn't all we found. We found one other very important thing. There's more? In Mr. Kochin's office, there was signs that someone had burned counterfeit bills there.
Oh, that's more important than the wire. Yes!
What in the...
Ayah!
it? That evidence was something you found out through that girl's machine, right?
So what if it was?
That's what I thought. But unfortunately for you, a recreation made by a machine is hardly concrete proof. Among the ashes you found in the room, did you happen to find any counterfeit bills?
No.
You see, so there was nothing in that office. Nothing you can call evidence anyway.
The wire is evidence still. Kind of.
I'm sorry, but I seem to have given you the wrong impression.
How so?
I don't recall saying that I was presenting evidence of any sort. But rather, I was pointing out that your investigation was incomplete. And that this throws doubt on the purity of your investigation into the Yatagarasu.
You still suspect me, I see. Alright, then I ask that you point out what part of my investigation is incomplete.
The other Interpol agents worked under the command of Agent Shina. And it is not possible that the reason the person K was choosing chose the third floor was because that person knew there would be no other agents on that floor. Furthermore, we've come to see that Agent Shina was only pretending to be investigating the Yatagarasu to the point of arresting K. In that case, there is one location that no one has yet to inspect. Your team's investigation was incomplete because they failed to inspect this location.
Is it... I'd say it's the other ashes, but they said they looked and they didn't see fingerprints or any counterfeit bills. Oh. Is it just Shina herself?
Take that!
The location, Agent Shina, is of course the room you claim to have examined.
Oh, just it is the whole room.
I believe the room next to Mr. Cochin's office warrants a thorough inspection.
Even if you do that, I doubt you'll find anything of use to you there.
I will be the one to decide that. Detective Gumshoe.
Yes, sir. I'm on it. I'll be right back after I check out the room next to the office.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth! Do you really think that Miss Shina is in the Yatagarasu?
Yes, if my logic is sound, I believe she is.
And I'm not gonna let her get away with ruining the name of the Yatagarasu! Can you prove she's the Yatagarasu is the question?
If Detective Gumshoe can find what I'm hoping he will find, then I should be able to.
Just what are you hoping he'll find?
Let's just say this. I had Detective Gumshoe do a little experiment for me earlier.
An experiment? If the detective has the brains for high science...
It wasn't that mentally taxing. I had him use the same escape route as the Yatagarasu.
And what did you find out by doing that?
First, that it's possible for a person to fit through the revolving wall door. Second, that by going through there, his coat was covered in ash and Babalese ink.
Who cares what his coat was covered in? It's not worth that much anyway.
But is it really worth so little? I believe that it's actually quite a meaningful result, the value of which I'm about to prove.
Mr. Edgeworth, I found some things you really need to see, sir.
Oh, so what are these things that you found?
Some makeup, a coat, and a pair of shoes, sir.
You found a coat? You there, Mr. Edgeworth? Maybe it's the one the person that I was chasing was wearing.
Yes, the possibility does exist. Agent Shina, were these pieces of evidence not in that room when you examined it?
Unfortunately for you, those aren't suspicious items of any sort. Lots of people wear coats. They all belong to me. They were getting in the way, so I stored them in that room.
Oh.
Thank you for bringing them to me. It saves me a trip. May I have them back now?
These items that the detective brought back are incredibly significant. I request that we be allowed to examine them.
They're my personal belongings, so you have no right to touch them without my permission.
I wish to examine them for the sake of the investigation, but if you wish to deny us access to them, Agent Lang, let's hear your opinion on this.
I say let them look at your stuff, Sheena.
Lang,
Sheena, let's put it all out in the open. If you're really innocent, then you have nothing to worry about, right?
I guess so. All right, go ahead and examine whatever you'd like. That's fine. I don't have After all, I have nothing to hide.
Good. Now let us begin. So which of Agent Sheena's belongings are you going to...
So which of the Agent Sheena's belongings are you gonna examine, sir? I feel like... Inspect the makeup? Alright, let's look at the makeup. I actually think the coat is gonna have our clues, but listen.
I believe I'll examine her makeup. What is this? It looks like a very thin paintbrush.
It's a lip brush. It's for putting on my lipstick.
I found something with a lot of weird powder inside, sir.
That's just foundation powder inside. Nothing to get worked up over.
Wow, you two sure know a lot about makeup. I think I need to confiscate them for a bit.
Ooh, I never knew makeup consisted of this stuff too.
I see.
She seems to be completely absorbed in her study of cosmetics.
I guess there really wasn't anything suspicious in Agent Sheena's makeup.
No, it's fine. I'm just looking at other things. I suppose not. Let's move on and examine something else.
We don't get a penalty for it, so we might as well have a little fun exploring some things. Let's check out the coat.
Let's examine the coat.
Yes, sir.
It appears you managed to stain your coat rather badly. Agent Sheena. The Yatagarasu that Kay saw was wearing a coat. And I'm beginning to wonder if the stain wasn't created when you went through the fireplace.
No, you have it wrong. That stuff probably got on my coat when I was helping the police put out the fire.
And what about this dark substance around the hem of your coat?
Oh, I didn't realize that the hem was that dirty. I'm sure it's just some water mixed with the soot from when I was helping with the fire.
I don't think so. You think it was such a transparent lie? Yeah, don't lie to us, pal. This is the same pattern of dirt that got on my coat when I went through the fireplace.
Your words ring hollow in the absence of evidence, you know. So unless you can prove that the dirt on my coat is from the fireplace,
Which I can.
How?
You did a great job, Detective Gumshoe.
Huh? Me, sir, what did I do?
This coat is exactly the piece of evidence I was searching for. I had been hoping to find the coat that the person Kay saw was wearing. And thanks to you, we proved that going through the fireplace would sully a coat.
I don't quite get what you're saying, but I'm happy for the praise, sir, and I will accept the financial praise as well. If you wanted to buy me something, or let me afford something other than noodles.
All that remains is for us to show what the dark substance of the coat hem is.
Oh, you think you can do that?
Of course I can. This is the dark substance that sullied the hem of this coat, and I think we all know at this point that it is some bubbly's ink.
Take that!
Bubbly's ink?
Yes, this is what will prove that the coat went through that fireplace. According to Ambassador Polano, he burned some files in the fireplace this morning.
You told us about that already, so I don't really see the point in mentioning it again.
My point is that he spilled some ink onto the back wall of the fireplace at that time. If the dark substance on this coat turns out to be Barbara Lee's ink, it would prove that you and this coat went through the revolving fireplace wall.
Getting a bit of a haircut cut there.
Sorry to have clipped one of your wings, Yatagarasu, but we're not finished yet.
But you have no way of proving whether or not this is Bubbly's ink on the coat hem.
Oh, but I do, and I intend to show that it is ink in a few seconds.
How?
How, you ask? Well, since you don't seem to know, allow me to show you. This is how I'll prove the dark substance on the coat is Bubbly's ink.
Oh, we'll burn it. We're gonna burn your coat. We're going to burn your coat.
We can find out whether that is Bubbly's ink or not by lighting it on fire.
That's how you're going to prove that it's Bubbly's ink.
Yes, if you could please cut a section of the dark stained area for me, I'd appreciate it. because I will show you here now what the dark substance is.
Sheena, sorry to do this, but I'm going to have to cut off a bit of your coat.
Go ahead, I wasn't planning to wear it anymore anyway.
Now then, if someone could loan me a lighter or something.
Oh, I got some matches.
I always carry them with me so I can light smoke bombs. And then I vanish.
If you could please have 1K, we can get this experiment underway.
It's a flame.
It's the same color as the flame as wind crystal oil produces, which means...
Babalese ink is a product of wood crystal oil, and when lit, the ink produces a green flame. I believe the time has come to clip the Yatagarasu's other wing.
Miss Sheena, you're the fake Yatagarasu! The one who killed my father!
It's about time you came clean, Agent Sheena, or should I say, Callisto, you?
Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, you're not serious, are you?
Do I look like the joking type to you?
Aha! Callisto, you? I've never heard that name before in my life.
That manner of speaking and that attitude, you haven't changed a bit in 7 years!
You're the vegetarian that killed Mr. Faraday, and then tried to frame me for it!
Oh, really? And you have proof? You insisted I'm this Callisto, you woman, but you can't prove it. If you have no proof, then I'm afraid you won't be able to lay a single finger on me.
The raven is a very unique bird, one that flies by the darkness of night. However, the light of dawn has arrived, and it will reveal your true, ugly form to the world.
Enough poetry. I want to see some evidence.
Do you really have something that can prove that she is Callisto you?
I do. It's something that the second Yatagarasu has preserved for us these last 7 years.
Do me the honor, Mr. Edgeworth!
I will, Kay, for we have finally come to the end. We'll prove to her to be Callisto you with this, and clip the Yatagarasu's wings for good. What do we have from Callisto you?
Oh. Her perfume?
Kay's been safeguarding it. Okay. Does she still use the same perfume?
Take that!
Do you stink like this? This perfume. This will prove you to be Callisto you. If we put just a single drop on you, you'll transform back into your original form. Poof!
It will?
Okay. Kay has preserved it perfectly for us. Surely you remember this bottle? This belonged to Miss Yu just before she disappeared 7 years ago. Naturally, this means that a few of her fingerprints are on here as well.
Fingerprints! Fingerprintos!
This is that bottle of perfume you spilled, which I've preserved ever since. I heard from my father, Byron Faraday, that if I store it under the right conditions, a fingerprint can be preserved for decades. Which means that your fingerprints are still on here. Every last one.
We can clear everything up if we were to compare the prints on this to your own. Now come, Agent Sheena, will you submit yourself to a fingerprinting test?
There's a lot of laughing. Etc., etc.
It looks like you've seen right through me yet again. You're sending me the biggest chill down my spine, Edgeworth.
Callisto, you.
So you've shown your true face at last.
This feeling of thrill, it's even greater than that time 7 years ago.
Sheena, you're...
Lang, I really enjoyed our days together. You're an insanely strong, nice, kind-hearted idiot of a man.
So you were a spy all along. A mole sent by the smuggling ring I've been chasing after. Someone who's been feeding them intel on Interpol all this time.
Very good. Maybe you're not as big of an idiot as I thought.
Callisto, you, the one who killed my father 7 years ago. You're her, aren't you? The fake Yatagarasu.
That's right, Callisto, you. That's just one of my many names. But even that is just a facade. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Great Thief Yatagarasu.
Callisto, this time you won't escape, for this is the end of the road for you. Now come along quietly.
You know, you're the one who left the strongest impression on me, K. Faraday. And had you not used the Yatagarasu's gadgets, I might have never known who you were. But here you are, being a thorn in my side, just like your father always was.
Kay, don't! I'll never forgive you for what you did to my father!
You really are just like him. Mr. Faraday, too possessed such laughable honesty.
What? Kay! You let go of Kay right now, pal!
You despicable! Let go of me, you filthy! Ah! You think I'm a fake, don't you? Well, unfortunately for you, I'm the real Yatagarasu.
But that's impossible! My father was the one who created Little Thief!
Hey, Edgeworth, the Yatagarasu has 3 legs. Do you know why that is?
Why it has 3 legs? There are 3 main reasons why the Yatagarasu will always be one step ahead. First, the Yatagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. Second, the Yatagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. No, it can't be.
Did you finally figure it out? Do you finally know the real identity of the Yatagarasu?
The real identity of the Yatagarasu is neither person. It's actually me! I'm the real Yatagarasu! The real identity of the Yatagarasu is neither Bind Faraday nor Callisto you. But by the same token, they are also both the real Yatagarasu.
Haha! How very perceptive of you! No way!
The single person known as the Great Thief Yatagarasu never existed.
Mr. Edgeworth!
I know! I refuse to believe this! The Yatagarasu is known to have 3 special skills. Skill number 1, the Yatagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. And a lawyer would have the opportunity to learn the layout of client corporations. Skill number 2, the Yatagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. And a good prosecutor would be very well versed in the ways of a criminal. And skill number 3, the Yatagarasu doesn't leave a single strand of evidence behind. Ever. Detective Bad! It was only natural for the Yatagarasu to never leave evidence behind, because the lead detective on the case hid it all away. You're the 3rd member of the Yatagarasu? You. I've been looking for you for a long time. 7 long years. But I finally got you.
Why, Mr. Bad,
Long time no see! What happened to us? We used to be such a great team.
you were such a great team, then why'd you kill my father 7 years ago?
Why, indeed? It was nothing personal, really. He was just another person I had to kill.
How can you say that?
I grow weary of this, and it's about time for everything to come to an end. And this time, I won't miss.
Stop! You! Kay!
It's over, Sheena.
Your leg!
Asian leg! You're a BAMF! You idiot, what were you thinking, jumping in front of my gun like that? What are you risking your life for? I'm sorry, Detective Bad, but no matter what sort of past she may have had, or even if she is a spy, it doesn't change the fact that she is my subordinate. And as long as she is, I can't allow any harm to come from her, not even from you.
You really are an idiot. We know that.
That's fine with me. You should know by now that this is just how I am. Hey, sis.
Yes?
I want you to conduct a full body search. Sheena might have another weapon on her.
A full... Oh, okay. I mean, you know, I know that Akai is a VIP, but I'm not really that kinky. Alright. Detective, show your assistance, please.
Sir! I'm just gonna pat you down here, and okay. Hey, I found something! What is this, sir? It looks like the blade of a knife, but it doesn't have a handle, so it'd be really hard to use.
This is a great find, Detective.
Huh? It is, sir?
Let's try pairing up this blade with this handle. Okay.
Take that!
I believe this blade actually belongs with the handle that was on the murder weapon.
Hey, they fit together perfectly.
This blade must have been taken from the crime scene, and the knife handles were switched.
I'm gonna go return this Bubbly's knife now.
All right. I trust that you'll make sure that it is returned to Ambassador Paledo. Bubbly's knife? Okay.
I would think that would be important evidence in the trial, and that we would temporarily withhold it, but okay, fine.
I believe this makes it perfectly clear who did it, Callisto you. For the only time the handles could have been switched is just after Mr. Cochin's murder. Which means that you must be Mr. Cochin's killer. You killed Mr. Cochin with the alabaster knife, switched the handles, and then took the original blade of the Barbalese knife with you. Later, you allowed yourself to be spotted by Kay near the open-air stage. You used the fireplace to lose her, and then you went back to accuse her of the murder. Does that about sum it up?
You cracked an engaging tale, Edgeworth, but there are two problems with it.
Problems? In what respect?
Why do you think my real reason was in allowing her to chase after me? It was also I could capture Kay Faraday. What? When I saw you using the device at Gay Waterland, I knew right away that you were Byron Faraday's daughter. I became curious, so I researched a little into your background. That's how I found out that you were on the trail of Yatagarasu.
So that's why you tried to pin Mr. Coach's murder on me?
Yes, I knew you would show up at this embassy tonight, so I thought to use you, but pinning the murder on you wasn't my only goal.
You had another?
Yeah, once I had you under arrest, I'd planned to search you and take back the device that rightfully belongs to me, the true Yatagarasu.
You were gonna take Little Thief away from me? But he's my best friend, other than Edgeworth, sorry, man. Then also Gumshoe, sorry also, man, but Little Thief's better than both of you.
7 years ago, thanks to that device, that Faraday was able to infiltrate this place. But he's still more than he should have. Had a tough time recovering that precious key.
The person who stole the Yatagarasu's key was Mr. Faraday. That incident 7 years ago, what was the catalyst behind it?
In the eyes of the smuggling ring, the Yatagarasu was becoming a bit of a problem. It wasn't an especially pleasant assignment.
Then why? Why did you become a member of the Yatagarasu?
Why? There is no why. I was destined to betray everyone from the very beginning.
From the beginning? What is that supposed to mean?
The person I take orders from hasn't changed, even now, to this day.
Does this mean that the leader of the smuggling ring wasn't Mr. Cochin? Then the real ringleader is still out there pulling the strings.
Are you done asking what you need to know? Because if so, we should probably get going. And you're gonna tell me everything you did tonight. Do you understand, Sheena?
I guess I should tell you then that I was the one who set the Barbalese embassy on fire.
And why did you do that?
I suppose it was to destroy all evidence of the counterfeit bills.
That was what the smuggling ring was trying to do. But then why start 2 fires?
Sorry, but I can't tell you anything about the ring. It's your job to complete your investigation after all. I've had my fun. Now it's your turn to enjoy the ride.
Wait! Miss Sheena.
Yes?
When I fell to the floor earlier,
these fell on my feet. What about them? They're such pretty hair sticks that I thought, well, that I should return them to you. You can have them. They're of no use to me anymore. If you don't want them, you can always just throw them away. No, I want to keep them. Suit yourself. Oh, that's right. I almost forgot Edgeworth. About the second problem I had with your story. I didn't kill anyone tonight.
What?
I'm not saying that as a sore loser. Think of it as a hint, if you will.
Mr. Prosecutor,
Yes, Agent Lang.
mark my words, I'm not done here, and I'll be back. And it's got nothing to do with my duty or anything, because this has become my personal case. I may have been shot, but I'll show you just how dangerous a wounded wolf can be.
His anger appears to have negated the sensation of pain in its injured leg. It's a lot of adrenaline. It's finally over, Kay. I feel like I've pinned a huddle, you know?
And it's so cold and dark and incredibly lonely. The person who was giving her all these commands? The one who thought my father was a problem to be removed?
That person is the real ringleader behind the smuggling ring.
Mr. Edgeworth, I have a favor to ask. Can you hold on to these hair sticks for me? They're really pretty, just like the ones they were selling for the Jammin' Ninja show. But until this case is over, I don't think I can look at them without being overcome.
I understand. I'll take good care of them for you. There's a bit of soil stuck on the ends of these sticks.
What were they used for? Not for hair. I guess it's that time already, huh? Time for us to finish up. Everything is done. We caught the bad guy and the case is finished.
so it's midnight, so dawn of another day.
Hey, Pops, thanks a bunch. You really done a lot for everyone all these years.
Detective Vad, don't tell me today is the day. Yeah, it is. With this, I can retire in peace. It was down to the wire. We almost didn't make it. But we did it. We solved everything. But that's just it. We haven't solved everything. The ringleader of the smuggling ring, you, the Yatagarasu, were chasing after. The legend of that Yatagarasu is now over. Mr. Edgeworth, that bit of logic earlier, it was brilliant. I feel like I can leave it all in your hands. I'm counting on you.
It's really true, Uncle Bad? Were you also part of the Yatagarasu?
As I said to you earlier, Kay, I'm truly sorry. I wanted nothing but a peaceful life for you.
Uncle Bad?
Hey, don't take it so seriously. It's all just one big joke, right?
Unfortunately, it isn't.
Oh, come on, sir. She's just yanking on my chain, isn't she, Mr. Edgeworth?
Detective Bad. Wait, no, you are no longer a detective. Mr. Bad, I'd like to ask you about the Yatagarasu.
Now you too, Mr. Edgeworth.
Mr. Edgeworth, here. I should give these back to you. These are the pages from my KG-8 case files that the Yatagarasu stole from my office. Wait!
Huh? Wait, what?
Mr. Edgeworth, I must apologize for last night. It was him! So the Yatagarasu who stole into my room was you, was it?
Wait, then that means what? Tell me it's not true. That's too insane for me to believe, sir.
It's true, even if it's not something you want to hear. The KG-8 incident, it was a very emotional, trying case. We stood in that courtroom, Faraday as the prosecutor, and I as the lead detective. Faraday had evidence in his possession that would prove the defendant guilty. However, because it was stolen, the defendant was found innocent. You was the elder sister of the victim in the case. When the defendant was pronounced not guilty, she let out a great wail. That's when we realized that there was a limit to what the law could do. The only way to bring someone like that to justice was to go do so outside of the courts. That's what we thought at the time. That's how we formed the Yatagarasu. and vowed to bring to light any dirty dealings companies had with the ring, including companies that dealt with the Amano Group. Mr. Amano's conglomerate. We called ourselves the Yatagarasu and flexed our collective muscle. We exposed all sorts of shady dealings as a warning to the business world as a whole. By doing that, we were able to stop the higher-ups from covering things up. And then, it was finally time. We had finally arrived at the moment when we'd find out the ringleader's true identity. It was then that you literally stabbed us in the heart, and Faraday, he died for it.
But why? Wasn't she the sister of the victim in the KG8 incident?
After Faraday's death, I looked into her past, and that's when I found out that she was a phony. The victim of the KG8 incident, CCU. She never had a sister.
What? Then that means...
She-Na wasn't the only fake name she used. Callisto U was another pseudonym. From the very beginning, that woman was a spy sent by the smuggling ring.
She said herself, I was destined to betray everyone from the very beginning.
Anyway, let's return to the real topic at hand. Mr. Edgeworth, this trump card that we stuck onto this page of the case file. Please use it wisely.
Trump card?
That photo that we stuck on there. Try peeling it off. Behind it slumbers a piece of evidence that Faraday hid away all those years ago.
It's the mark of the Yatagarasu. But why?
This is a directives card from the big boss. Take a look at the back. This was something Cochin had on him at the time of the KG8 incident, 10 years ago. That blood is from the victim of the incident, Miss CCU.
But why is the card adorned with the mark of the Yatagarasu?
The reason why we called ourselves the Yatagarasu was because of the three-legged raven mark the smuggling ring's boss used. Apparently, orders from the boss would come on these cards without fail. The person who received the order was supposed to burn it immediately after reading it. And apparently, it burns a bright green flame once it ablaze.
So you mean the cards were written in Barbalese ink?
The fact that the card that Cochin was sent made it into Faraday's hand at all is nothing short of a miracle. We decided that whenever we stole anything, we would send a card along with it to the police.
So that's what those white cards are.
The great thief that used the mark that only those within the ring would know. It was our message to the ringleader that we were only a few steps behind. And one more thing. Detective Gumshoe, I'm entrusting this to you.
Your lollipop? Oh, there, the tape. What is this, sir?
This is what I was talking about earlier. During the KG8 incident trial, Faraday had this in his possession. This important definitive piece of evidence.
But I thought it was stolen. How do you have it?
The person who stole it from us 10 years ago was a man by the name of Ernest Amano. And he had it locked and hidden away for all this time. But we forced him to tell us where it was finally, after the other day's kidnapping case.
This video.
Don't come any closer. I'm warning you.
This is the same video as the one Mr. Portman was trying to conceal from me.
Yeah, it would seem that even he was caught up in the ring's web. Amano was preparing to take on the boss someday, and the video was his insurance. That's where that prosecutor comes in. He was to retrieve the video. On top of that, he was apparently instructed to sneak into your office and steal the trump card. You saw it for yourself, right? The card that told him to preserve the evidence.
That card was not the calling card of the Yatagarasu, but rather a directives card from the ringleader to Mr. Portsman.
The two pieces together make for a strong weapon for whoever holds them.
The evidence Mr. Portsman thought to withhold from me
and the one that you stole from my office last night. Both pieces are illegal, and for me to use either one is, whether you use them or not, is up to you. But they will be of help to you when you take on someone who's above the law. Is the boss one of those who cannot be brought to court that Mr. Faraday spoke of? Detective Baden, there's no limit to the law, for it is the people who determine the limits to them. You still insist that, even now, you really are something else. I leave the rest in your hands. Now then, Detective Gumshoe, the handcuffs. It's time to lock up the last remaining member of the Yatagarasu.
Ah, Pops.
Don't ever lose your detective spirit.
Pops, why is this happening? This isn't justice.
Like I always told you, do not get emotionally involved. Now, let's go.
Yes, sir.
Kay's looking pretty down.
Is this really the end of a legend? To be continued.
That was a huge info dump. Holy crap. All right, well, we still have a lot more to go. I guess we have to take down a whole smuggling ring still, and not just catch the Yatagarasu, because we know who that was and caught all the members of it. Find out what happens next time. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't. Press those buttons. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.